Hello student, hi, good morning. So today we will discuss about what Bohr's atomic model. Okay, as we have seen in last class what about atom. Yes, we have discussed the atom and in that the distribution of what electron. Okay, how we can describe the distribution of electron inside the atom. So today we are going to discuss about Bohr's atomic model before going to energy band theory. Okay, so this is last that topic which is not related to our main syllabus of electronic device and circuit, but this is much important to understand the energy band theory. Okay, so means how the electron is taking what the discrete value of energy. Okay, so which we can understand by this Bohr's atomic model. Okay, so let's go for Bohr's atomic model. Bohr's atomic model. Okay, so today we will discuss about this. Okay, first of all I want to give you some what analogy is there. As you know very well, without friction we can't walk. Yes, is it or not? If I want to walk from here to there, okay, if I want to walk from here to there, because of what? Friction. For friction what is needed? Gravitational force. Okay, what is needed? Gravitational force of attraction. Okay, which is responsible for what? Friction. For gravitational force what is important? Mass. What? Mass is the fundamental property of what? Mass is the fundamental property of an object. Okay, so which is responsible for what? This is what? Mass. Yes, to mass is what? Fundamental property of what? Object. What? Object. Okay, so this is fundamental property of object. So this mass which is responsible for what? Which is responsible for gravitational force of attraction. What? Gravitational force of attraction. Gravitational force of attraction. Gravitational force of attraction. So this mass is the property of object and which is responsible for gravitational force of attraction, and this gravitational force of attraction is responsible for what? Friction. What? Friction. Okay, what? Friction. Okay, because of friction we are able to walk from here to there. Okay, if friction is not there, then can you walk from here to there? Yes, you can move but you can't walk. Means we are not stable without friction. Means we are not stable without gravitational force. Okay, nothing is stable because without mass. Okay, so this is just the analogy to understand what? To understand the particle. Okay, charged particle. So this is the best analogy to understand what? The movement of what? Electron around the nucleus. Okay, this is what? Without friction it is impossible for us to walk. Okay, so therefore for that gravitational force is needed. Okay, which is responsible for friction. Okay, so and this mass is the fundamental property of object. Okay, which is what? Responsible for this. Okay, so now based on this, similarly if we see the charge. What? Charge is the fundamental property of what? Charge is the fundamental property of what? Fundamental property. Charge is the fundamental property of what? Particle. What? Particle. Okay, so which is responsible for what? Which is responsible for electrostatic force of attraction. What? Electrostatic force of attraction. Electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, so charge is the fundamental property of particle which is responsible for electrostatic force of attraction. Between what? Between the charge, positive charge or negative charge. Okay, so like electron electron and nucleus, electron between the nucleus and electron, force of attraction. Okay, so this must be there to make the atom stable. Okay, to make what? Atom stable. So it is needed, it is very important. Charge is the fundamental property of particle which is responsible for electrostatic force of attraction. Similar to that, in mechanical way, what? The mass is the fundamental property of object which is responsible for gravitational force of attraction, and that gravitational force of attraction is responsible for what? Friction, because of which we are able to walk on the surface. Okay, walk on the surface. Without friction we are unstable. Similarly here, without electrostatic force of attraction, the atom, the revolution of what? Electron in a particular orbit around the nucleus is unstable. So means atom is unstable. Okay, if electrostatic force of attraction is not there, atom is unstable, means this whole of the world is made up of what? Atom. Then whole of the world is not there at all if this electrostatic force of attraction is not there. Why? Because atom is not stable. So we all of us are made up of atom. In this whole of the world, everything is made up of atom. If atom is itself is not stable, then we all of us are not stable. So this is much more important. Okay, so this is all about what? Charge. Charge is the fundamental property of particle which is responsible for electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, so now we will see how it is making what? The atom stable. Electrostatic force of attraction. See, this is our nucleus. Okay, so this is what? Orbit or shell, you can say. This is nucleus. Okay, here is what? Electron. Here is what? Electron. These are the particular energy level. Okay, which can be represented by 1, 2, 3 and 4, and it can be also represented as a shell, K, L, M and N shell. Okay, so like N shell. Okay, number 5 you can take it. So these are what? Orbital. Now I will say, if I will say that, is this electron is stable here? Why it is not falling here? What is that which is making this electron stable in this atom which is revolving around the nucleus? Why it is not falling inside the nucleus? What is there? There is a force. What is that? Electrostatic force of attraction, and another force is there, centripetal force. Okay, so these are the centripetal force. Okay, centripetal force of attraction, and another one is there, centrifugal force of attraction. Centrifugal force of attraction. Okay, centripetal force of attraction, centrifugal force of attraction is there. Okay, so this is electron, like this is electron revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus, one force is acting like this, one force is acting inward and one force is acting outward. So this is my centripetal force of attraction, and this is my centrifugal force of attraction, which is nothing but what? Electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, so this is electrostatic force of attraction, this is centripetal force of attraction. If you see centripetal force of attraction plus centrifugal force of attraction, centripetal force and centrifugal force of attraction is equal to 0. What is centripetal force? Is nothing but mv square by what? R. mv square by I R. This centrifugal force is electrostatic force of attraction. What is electrostatic force of attraction? By Newton, what? No, by Coulomb's force of attraction between two charges. This is electron charge, negative charge. This is proton, positive charge. So it has a charge minus q. Okay, so minus q or minus c. Okay, minus c charge. It has a plus c charge. Okay, so if you see, product of them is nothing but E square by 4 pi epsilon r. Okay, so this is what? Distance between this and this electron and this proton. Okay, so these are the force which is balancing with each other and making this atom stable, Okay, because of electrostatic force of attraction and this centripetal force force of attraction, centripetal force. Okay, both are balancing with each other and making equal to 0. So now if we see mv square, okay, so this is mv square by r is equal to what, e square by 4 pi epsilon r. Okay, so now from here what we can, 4 pi epsilon r square. Okay, from here what we can calculate, this is mv square is equal to e square by 4 pi epsilon r. Okay, so just you keep it in box and in. Okay, so now this is over equation 1. Okay, so from here then after that what we will do, so this is over mv square by mv square is equal to this. Okay, because of this, these two forces are balancing this electron, because of that the electron is not falling inside the nucleus. Okay, if it fall, okay, for time being if it fall, then what will happen, this atom will get collapse. Okay, everything in this whole of the world will get collapse, because everything is made up of atom, so it is stable, so because of these two forces. Okay, so now we will see what is that kinetic total energy. We will see total energy of this electron or particle. See total energy. What is that? Total energy is kinetic energy plus potential energy. Kinetic energy plus potential energy. Okay, so this is what total energy. What is kinetic energy? Half of mv square. Okay, so half of mv square. This potential energy is what? Potential energy is nothing but potential into what? Charge of this electron is how much? E. Okay, so if we see mv square by what? 2 plus what is potential is nothing but E by 4 pi epsilon naught r into minus C. Okay, so this is what? Total energy. So total energy is what? Nothing but, if we see mv square by 2. Okay, mv square by 2 minus E square divided by 4 pi epsilon into r. Now you see, just put this value into this. Okay, in total energy we will get total energy of what? Particle. Total energy of electron. This is total energy of electron is equal to how much? Just put this into this mv square value here. What you will get? E square by 8 pi epsilon r minus E square divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r. So total energy is equal to what? Total energy is, if you will solve this, you will get minus E square by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So this is the total energy of what? This electron in every orbit. Okay, with the distance of r has energy how much? It is equal to minus E square by 8 pi epsilon naught r. So this is equation number 2. So just you keep it in box. So this is over equation number 2. Now we are going further. Okay, so now let us see. What is next? Next is what? Why? Next we see that according to what? As we know, according to classical electromagnetism, every moving particle must release what? Energy. If we see from here, what? If we see from here, Et is equal to what? Et is what? Proportional to. It is what? Proportional. Okay, it is proportional to what? Some constant. Okay, it is proportional to minus 1 by r. It is proportional to minus 1 by r. So means Et is equal to minus some constant by what? R. Constant by r. Here if you see, this is inversely proportional to this, but negative sign is there. Okay, from here we can say that this total energy is proportional to what? R. Proportional to r. So it is not, but it is looking like inversely proportional to, because of negative sign. It is indicated that number wise, if you will see number wise, which number is greater, that according to that we can say that this total energy is proportional to what? R, proportional to R, because of this negative sign. If you will see without magnitude, this number is smaller, this number is negative number is what? This is negative number. Because of this negative number, it is proportional to R. So as we go far away from the nucleus, as we go far away from the nucleus, the electron gain the energy, electron gain energy. If it fall from higher orbital to lower orbital, then electron lose their energy. What? Electron lose their energy. So this we can understood from here. Okay, so as the radius increases, electron gain energy, electron gain more and more energy. If it is if radius decreases, then electron lose their energy. What? Electron lose their energy. Okay, this is in case of what? Electron. In case of electron. If we take the proton, like proton has positive charge, so potential energy, as we know, what potential energy is nothing but, if we see the potential into what? In case of what? In case of a proton has charge plus C. This is our potential. So potential is what? Also E. So it become E square by 4 pi epsilon naught R. So in case of what? In case of proton, so this is electron. In case of electron, potential energy increases, but in case of proton, in case of electron, potential energy increases, because there the potential energy is minus E square by 4 pi epsilon. But in case of what? Electron. In case of proton, charge is positive, because of this the potential energy is inversely proportional to R. So as R increases, potential energy decreases. Of what? Of positive of proton. Okay, not electron. For electron, potential energy increases, but for proton, potential energy decreases, because negative sign is not there. Okay, because potential has what? Because proton has positive charge. If I will take this, what? For electron has negative charge, this become negative. So therefore here the potential energy for electron is minus 1 by R, or we can say potential energy is proportional to R for what? Electron. Okay, if similarly this potential energy for what? For proton has charge C, that is equal to E square by 4 pi epsilon naught R. Okay, so here we can say that potential energy is proportional to, okay, potential energy is inversely proportional to R. Okay, so that is for what? That is for proton. This is for proton, positively charged particle, proton. Okay, so this is some difference between proton and electron potential energy, or the total energy is also what? Inversely proportional in case of what? Proton, because total energy also become positive. When you will solve, you will get positive for proton. This both total energy and potential energy. Okay, just you remember this. Okay, so now we will see what? According to classical electromagnetism, that any moving particle must release the energy. What? Must release energy. Any moving particle must release energy according to classical electromagnetism. If it is like that, if energy is released by the particle, then what will happen? If the energy is released by the particle, if energy released by the what? Particle or electron. Okay, so because classical electromagnetism, according to that theory, which says that any moving charge particle must release energy. Like that, if electron release the energy, then what happen? If electron release their energy, okay, if electron release energy, then what happen? This energy will get gradually decreases. Okay, energy will gradually decreases. If energy decreases, then this radius will gradually decrease. If energy decrease, then at last what will happen? This electron will fall into the nucleus. So therefore this atom will get collapse. Again same same will happen, what, that electron this whole atom will get collapse if electron release energy. Okay, according to this is also given by the Rutherford atomic model, okay, which says that the electron should release the energy. If electron release energy, then what will happen, this radius, this energy will get gradually decreases, energy gradually decrease. As we know very well, energy is proportional to what, energy is proportional to what, radius. Okay, total energy is proportional to radius. If this energy decreases, radius will also decreases. Radius decreases means this electron will fall into the nucleus. So at last what will happen, this whole of the atom will get collapse, so atom is not there, then nothing is there, this marker is not there, this blackboard is not there, everything in this world is no longer there. Okay, no longer there, we all of us are not there because of this. If this will happen, but we still are existing, means this rule is wrong. Okay, so electron is not releasing the energy, electron is not releasing the energy at this particular stage of this energy level. So therefore what happened, according to the Bohr's atomic model, what he says, that the electron does not possess what, electron does not possess whole of the energy, electron does not possess all the energy. Okay, so it just possesses a certain set of energy, or you can say it takes on the discrete value of energy, Okay, so electron does not possess all the energy, continuous energy, but instead of this, the electron possesses certain set of energy, or we can say the electron takes what, electron take on discrete electron take on discrete value of energy, electron take on discrete value of energy. Okay, so electron takes on discrete value of what, energy. Okay, so from here we can understood that energy is not continuous, energy is quantized. What, energy is quantized, energy is quantized, energy is quantized. Okay, so energy is quantized. Okay, so therefore this is the what, fundamental characteristic of what, electron. This is the fundamental characteristic of electron, which is bound to an atom or within the finite space, is that the electron takes on discrete value of energy. Therefore energy is quantized, it is not continuous. Therefore the electron does not release or does not radiate the energy in this particular state or particular energy level or particular energy shell, does not radiate the energy. It will radiate the energy only when it jumps from one energy state to another energy state. Okay, so this is the one of the fundamental characteristic of what, electron take only discrete value of energy. Okay, so next we will go what, the electron, we will discuss about the movement of electron in this energy state. Okay, so movement of electron in this energy state. Okay, so movement of electron in this energy state is what, in this energy state is quantized. The movement of electron in this energy state, that k, l, m, n, or you can say 1, 2, 3 energy level or energy state. Okay, energy level. So in this energy level, the electron movement is what, quantized, so therefore this linear movement is what, quantized, and this linear movement of this electron is integral multiple of what, n h bar, which is nothing but n h by 2 pi. Okay, so this is what, linear movement. Okay, so linear movement is n h by 2 pi. What is this linear movement? Which implies that linear movement is mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. Okay, so this is linear movement. From equation first, as you see here, mv square is equal to what we got, e square by 4 pi epsilon naught what, r. Okay, that is from there, put that centripetal force and centrifugal force. Okay, from there we got this from here we got this. Now what we will do, so just calculate the R from here. Okay, so now we will calculate this m, this value of V. What is V from here? V is NH divided by NH divided by m divided by m 2 pi R. Okay, so now we will put this value into this. Okay, so let us say this is equation number 3 and this is equation number 4. Just put this value here. mv is what? nh. Okay, so n square h square n square h square. Okay, so divided by m square 4 pi square r square is equal to e square by 4 pi epsilon naught r. Okay, so when you will do this, what we will get? This m will get cancelled and 4 pi 1 pi is remaining here, remaining there. This is r. Okay, r will also get cancelled and from here we can get value of what? R. What is this value of r? R is nothing but, if you see, n square h square and this is epsilon. Okay, epsilon divided by what is this? m and this is 4 pi, this is pi. Okay, so this is pi. Okay, n square h square e square. Okay, so this is my value of what? R. Okay, R, n square h square epsilon naught. Okay, this is my what value of R. This R is nothing but Bohr's radius. What? Bohr's radius. So this Bohr's radius, when you will solve this is what? H square epsilon naught divided by m pi e square into n square. Okay, so when you will solve this value, you will get approximately 0.53 what? Angstrom. Okay, n square. This is Bohr's radius. Okay, Bohr's radius. So this is the value of this. Now as we know that total energy, what is that? Total energy is equal to what? Minus e square by 8 epsilon naught 8 pi epsilon naught r. Okay, so now just you put this value into this total energy, this value of r here. What you will get? We will get e square minus e square divided by 8 pi okay epsilon naught. So this is e square by 8 pi. Okay, 8 pi epsilon naught. This is value of r is what? 0.53 angstrom 10 to the power minus 10 and this is n square. Okay, so this is 1 by n square. Now when you calculate this whole factor from here, you will get what? You will get this minus 13.6 okay by n square. So this is my total energy of what? Electron or particle. Okay, so electron or particle. So these are the energy, these are the value of total value of particle or electron in every energy level. Okay, so every energy level. So just note it down. Okay, so just see, this is total energy. What we did? Nothing. First we got from the centripetal force and centrifugal force. From there we got this equation, and this equation we got from what? This linear momentum, which should be integral multiple of this nh by 2 pi. From here we got mv. Just put this value of v here. We will get radius r, which is Bohr's radius, Bohr's atomic radius, and this total energy we got from kinetic energy plus potential energy. This is total energy. Then after that just put this value here. Okay, we will get minus 13.6 by n square total energy. This is in joule. Okay, so now this is in joule. So just by solving this, what we will get? If you will see, so this is, see, this is energy level. Okay, energy level 1, energy level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As you go up and up, this energy level will become closer and closer. Okay, so like n is equal to 1 energy level, you will get what energy level? Total energy level equal to minus 13.6 electron volt. N is equal to 2, you will get what? Minus 3.4 electron volt. N is equal to 3, you will get what here? Energy level minus 1.15 electron volt, and so on at up to this last energy level. You will get energy is equal to almost 0. Okay, because up to infinite, something by infinite, 0. This means this energy level is very far away from the nucleus, means it is unbounded. So it is almost free from nucleus. Okay, from nucleus. Now what happen? This electron will gain the energy when it will go from lower energy level to higher energy level. Then it will gain the energy. When it will fall from higher energy level to lower energy level, so then the energy will get released. It will lose the energy. Okay, in the form of electromagnetic wave. Okay, in the form of electromagnetic wave. As we know very well that electromagnetic wave, it is also a light. Okay, so electromagnetic wave, we can say also a light, and that light may be treated as what? Collections of particles. Okay, and these particles have what? Momentum and energy. Okay, in case of particle like behavior of light. Okay, so this is light. Okay, light, which is nothing but electromagnetic wave. When this electron fall from higher energy state to higher energy level to lower energy level, then it will release what? Energy. Then it will release what? Energy in the form of what? It will lose or release the energy in the form of electromagnetic wave, which can be treated as a light, and this light can be treated as what? Particle. And this particle have what? Both energy which is equal to h nu, and h nu is equal to v by lambda. Or this particle also have a momentum, that is p is equal to mv. If we will, okay, so this light also can be treated as what? Treated as a wave. What? Wave. Okay, wave which has a certain number of frequency. Okay, omega is equal to 2 pi f, 2 pi